Hey, what's up, VC? How you doing? It's me, yours truly, VC Cheer. Woo! Just wanted to do a quick video here. Actually, doing a video response to James, the real James Croxton, I believe is his username now. He did a video called the YTVC, which is a kind of an interview contest that he's doing. I believe he mentioned he's doing it for some project or something like that, which is really cool. But he's kind of doing just like kind of interviewing us by asking 3 questions that he wants us to answer, and he's going to be inserting it into some type of project that he's doing. Which that sounds really cool, man. So I hope when you get it done, you'll maybe have an opportunity to share it with us or whatever. Because I'm really interested in seeing kind of what you're putting together for this project. But anyway, I want to jump in on it. 3 quick questions, and I'll try to get to them as quick as possible without rambling too much. Question number 1, he just said to show 3 of your grails, and he specifically mentioned me not to show more than 3, as if I ever go over the number. Okay, maybe sometimes I go over the number that's requested. Okay, maybe every time I go over the number that's requested, but this time, you know, I'll stick to it. So we'll go over to the grail box here, which is where I like to keep some of my little prized possession type things. If I had to pick 3, I know 1 would definitely be Dave Matthews Band's These Crowded Streets, a perfect mint copy of that. It's definitely one of my favorite pieces in my collection. Next would probably have to be the Smashing Pumpkins Melancholy. I definitely consider that a grail. The next would be see, I was going to say Stone Temple Pilots, but at this point in time I would probably have to say my signed copy of the Melvin's Houdini. That would probably be my 3rd grail right there. So those would be my 3 grails. But Stone Temple Pilots been honorable mention. Okay. So those are my 3 grails. Second question was, how do you organize your collection? I'll try to keep that a simple answer because you guys know that I'm pretty insane when it comes to the organization of my my music collection. But let me just give kind of a basic gist, if you will, type rundown. Over here, I have my jazz collection. This is stuff that's in rotation, just things I pull out of the stacks that I want to listen to in the next few days. That over there is stuff that I've recently bought, put into my system database, but just haven't listened to yet. So I haven't listened to any of this. This is old stuff that I have listened to but just want to throw on again. So that's just kind of what those 2 little stacks are going on there. Overall with my collection, there's a few areas that are set up as by artist, but pretty much everything is in genres, and then within the genres, alphabetical order, and within the alphabetical order of each artist, chronological order. So, you know, like for example, you have classic rock right up here. So you go over here to, let's say towards the end, Led Zeppelin, for example. And you know, within Led Zeppelin you have, well, you can't really see it there, I guess, but you know, you have Led Zeppelin 1, Led Zeppelin 2, on down the line to, you know, down the coda there. So that's basically how I do it within genres. And yeah, that's one thing oftentimes I hear a lot of on the VC, or just people, you know, talking about it, is that it seems like more people don't like to organize by genres than do. At least that's just the feedback I seem to hear. Is I think one of the things that people always say is, you know, that there's no genres in music. There's just like good music, you know, period. But with me, when it comes to how and why I organize my collection this way, is I tend to get very moody with music. I mean, with all the different genres and everything that I love so much, sometimes I just get in the mood to where I just want only classic rock, or I want only hip hop, or whatever the case may be. And so for me personally, if I had my collection set up to where everything was just in alphabetical order, it would bug the crap out of me if I got into a classic rock mood, and while I'm digging through my records, it's like classic rock, 80s, hip hop, classical, 80s, classic rock. It's like that would just drive me crazy to have all those genres mixed together. Because again, once I go, classic rock mode, I want to be able to go right to my shelves and just for, an hour, 2 hours, I'll just be pulling records out from only right here. And there's no, Tupac mixed in the middle of that I'm having to go past to, because even oftentimes when I start really wanting to get into it, listen to a genre, it's not because I'm craving a specific group. So that's why I just tend to go through that genre and just flip through and stuff will jump out at me. So, again, it's all about how you experience your music collection and how it works best for you, obviously. And what works best for me is not mixing the genres together, but keeping them very separate and very distinct. And that I just like it better that way. So classic rock, prog, psych, then it's just 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I'm sorry, 70s, 80s, all the way down there. This stack over here, organized strictly by artist, and no specific genre here. It's just individual artists, and I have a lot of individual pieces. Not a lot, but I mean a number of individual pieces. And I started doing this mainly because it was a good way to pull records out of these stacks when they were getting too full. So, if I was having trouble fitting new stuff in, I could go and pull 3 artists, and maybe between the 3 artists there are 20 records, pull those out, put them right over here, and it made room for new stuff to go in over here. So this stack over here, kind of the same thing. So over here, you have all rock and 80s, new wave, and all that good stuff. Over here is all R&B. R&B, hip-hop, blues, world music. So like I said, this is kind of the R&B stack and the rock stack. So again, I keep things kind of separate like that. Down here is just a stack of stuff I need to go through. New stuff I've gotten over the months that I haven't really paid attention to. This section over here, everything from here, right there over, that's all rock, metal, punk, that type of thing. Again, individual artists over there, Maiden, Priest, Zombie, Black Sabbath, Ozzy, Kiss, Pantera, Van Halen, Accept, all that good stuff. My starting back there, but then all this, my Big Four collection. And then just like, regular metal. So again, same thing's kind of broken out into genres. That's metal, then hair metal. Down there is punk, hardcore, and grunge and hard rock down there. 45 is organized just like the rest of the collection genres, and then chronologically. So yeah, that's how that's organized. Now, one other thing about my organization, which is kind of interesting, I just kind of discovered this about myself. There are certain things certain changes I can make in my music room that actually affect how I listen to music. And one of the things that I notice is with these bins that face front, whatever genres are in these bins up here, I tend to listen to a lot more than stuff that may be at the bottom rows on my stacks. And not because like I'm digging the music any more or less, but it's just the accessibility of it visually being kind of up in your face, the easy access of the face front flipping and everything. It just naturally has made, I should say, I naturally will listen to whatever's up here more. So now what I've started to do is I'm kind of in a habit now where I'm going to be just rotating what I have set up here. So a little while ago I had my punk, hardcore, and then I think these last 2 stacks were actually my soundtracks. Well, I took the soundtracks and everything and moved them over here, took the punk and hardcore, moved it down here, and then I took my 90s and 2000s, which was the genres I was probably listening to the least, and I moved it up here. And now, actually, over the past week or so, I have been listening to this stuff more. So again, it's just something kind of interesting I discovered about myself, and I'm going to be, kind of rotating this up here a lot more. So, again, just kind of part of how I organize stuff, and it seems to work. More organization, everything down here. This is all just stuff I need to listen to, put into the database, go through, so forth. Same thing with the CDs and cassettes up here. These are all CDs that I have not listened to yet or have not put in my database, as well as those cassettes. And, this is my processing table, as I mentioned a few videos ago, when I bring new stuff in, before I can, to get it processed, put in the database, and blah, before it goes in the collection. This is where everything stays over here. I did set up a kind of a little listening station over here too, with just spare things I've had sitting around, so that's kind of nice too, to, just little speakers there. But so that works. Oh, recent finds from last night actually. Got these for $2. Couple new Accept albums to add to the collection, as well as Rap's Greatest Hits, which is a great album. I have to talk about this in more detail in the future because that's a really good album. Then some dollar CDs, Big Talk, Anika, and Ash Black Buffalo. So again, it's just some pickups there. And then again, talking about organization, this is a big piece of it right here. Pull my chair out here. This is my database. And so this is kind of where I keep everything, so I know exactly what I have at all times. Pretty simple setup here. I mean, let me just click on it like this. So I have the name of the artist, then I have the name of the album, the year of the album, what genre category I have it filed in. If I have it on vinyl, I put the value of the record right there, and only for vinyl. I don't keep value of CDs or cassettes or anything like that. Vinyl only. And then the next 3 columns shows if I have that album on vinyl, which says LP there. And then if I have it on CD, I'll put CD there. If I have it on cassette, obviously I put cassette there. And then the next column here, if I have it on iTunes, because there's some records that maybe I borrowed the CD from the library, so I have it in I have the full album on iTunes, but I don't have it on vinyl, CD, or whatever else. So for some albums that I only have on iTunes, I'll actually put that in here too, so at least I know what I have and what I don't have. So that's the iTunes column. The next column here, that's where I put whether it's on, maybe find one here. If it's on colored vinyl or picture disc or whatever, I'll describe, what it is, clear green vinyl or whatever it might be. And then the next row here, this is just any details that I need to put about the album. If it's a certain number of a set or something like that, or anything of that nature. And I don't know if I have one nearby, but if I have an album where I need a better copy, see if I can find one really quick. It's probably not a ton, but I think there has to be one here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Like right here, Black Sabbath's Technical Ecstasy. It shows that I have it, 1976 metal. And then you go all the way out here, and I have it's warped. Sorry, actually, move over here. Need new cover. It's split and frayed at bottom, but the vinyl is good. So I kind of know when I go to look for this copy of Black Sabbath Live at Last, I may think, oh, you already have it, but it's highlighted in red, so I kind of know, oh, that must mean something is wrong with it. Oh, I need a new cover because it's split, but the vinyl's in really good condition. So if I'm digging through a dollar bin and I find, a great cover that an album is all scratched up, perfect. But that's what I highlight in red when something is messed up, so to speak. Told you, psycho, boy. But anyway, moving right along. CDs are organized just like my vinyl. Really no different there. I have it in genre and then by artist and chronologically. And I do separate out the genres here. I mean, these 2 sections are metal, but the first section is actually hair metal, and then the next goes into what I guess you call regular metal, if you will. If I ever get stuff big enough, well, I'll go into that later. But anyway, same thing here with rock. You got, it says pop rock, which is about hard rock, and then you got hard alternative rock, and then punk rock, and 60s, 70s, 80s, and on down the line. So I really break out the genres there too. And same thing all the way around. So that's pretty much how I have things organized. I guess one other thing I could show. My cassettes, which are probably the least organized thing in my collection. And it's mainly because I don't have any type of shelving unit to really organize it. With these little cases where you just kind of slide the cassettes in a slot. How do you put it in alphabetical order? When you buy one new cassette, you'd have to shift every single one spot, and of course that ain't happening. So what I do with my cassettes in terms of general organization I kind of keep genres together as much as possible, so everything is at least kind of in the same section. Whether it's kind of, 90s and grunge here, soundtracks on this side, a little bit of classic rock on that side, and then this is all classic rock. This is all female artists of the 80s, and then that is just all 80s right there. So that's the best I can kind of do with organizing my cassettes right now. But anyway, okay, so that's the how Psycho Mr. Hall of Fame organizes his collection, but has so much fun doing it. And then the very last question, grab my little cheat sheet. What was the last question? It was, oh, where do you get most of your vinyl? Pretty simple question, actually. I mean, I would say a good 70% of my vinyl comes from record stores. Especially over the last, 4 years or so, I've had to travel a lot, be it with work or, all that stuff. So, every single time I go to a new town, I always find the vinyl stores. That's just a must with any trip, anywhere, for whatever reason. Not to mention there's a number of local stores here where I live now, where I lived before. And so, yeah, a good 70% came from just going to local record stores. The other, 28% probably online, eBay mainly. And then that last 2% or so would be, trades, VC stuff, and things of that nature. But, so there you go, James. Again, I hope this helps out with the project that you're doing. Would love to see kind of the final result of that. So, I don't know, let me know if you have any questions about anything, and we'll talk to you soon, VC. Alright, take care, guys.